Hello everyone, as you just saw, there was a nice conducting in the beginning there. And that means we're doing the Starlight Celebration seasonal event that's on right now, and as you can see down on the bottom left in the chat, the game itself gives a description of it and how long it is going to be in game. And we are in New Gridania, and this is where the quest starts. So we will get right into it. Garangi has need of a little helper, and who is more helpful than you? Ah, 'tis always a joy to welcome a new face. I am Starlight Celebrant, and you must be an adventurer in search of festive cheer, correct? We have lots of surprises in store, especially for the little ones. The Starlight Celebration wouldn't be complete without the beaming smiles of all those darling children. One of said surprises will involve a tradition from the frozen climes of Ishgard. A little snow makes the world glisten and sparkle, but too much can be ever so dangerous, as Ishgardians know all too well. This is why the adults offer song to the Saint of Nemia, so that he may keep the blizzards at bay. While the weather here in Gridania is nowhere near as inclement as that, a festive song like that would make the proceedings even more memorable. And when the singing is over, we'll give each child in the audience a present. Luckily, several local businesses have agreed to fund all this merrymaking. Are you familiar with Mesenta of Black Rabbit Traders by any chance? She has been particularly eager to lend us a hand. From the decorations to the costumes, there is scarcely an aspect of the celebrations in which she hasn't been involved. In fact, she has even agreed to arrange the musicians who will be singing here at Mikito's amphitheater. The only trouble is, I haven't seen her for a while, and I worry that she may have encountered complications. Now, I'm sure there is nothing to worry about, but I would be ever so grateful if you could speak with her. Perhaps politely remind her that the success of the Starlight Celebration hangs in the balance? I'm dreadfully sorry to impose on you like this, but we are up to our baubles in tasks that simply cannot wait. Could you do me this one teensy favor? Oh, that's terrific! She's probably at her stall near the Aetherite Plaza. And over on the map, you see it's over there. And right there. One thing I'll note is that if you've done some of these quests already and met some of these characters, some of the dialogue will actually be different. And you'll see the dialogue differently. Probably someone online will have already uploaded some videos for this event, and you'll be able to see the different dialogue with their videos. This one is for literally the very first event that this character has done, and thus the dialogue is treating them as a sort of nobody adventurer. Come to feast your eyes on my wares, have you? Or is there something you would like to discuss? Well, it was never my intention to keep Amy Garangi waiting. I will happily explain everything as soon as we take this conversation a little more private. Might I suggest the secluded area by the Leatherworkers Guild? Well, that doesn't sound suspicious at all. And back where we just were. I like all the snow up on the top of the buildings there. Just give you a inside look. Not so silent night. And we are over here. Destination. As I have tree branches in my face. Thank you for agreeing to meet me here. I'm on good terms with Guildmaster Giva, and she lets me use this space for, well, that's a story for another time. Or perhaps never. Naturally, a quiet spot like this is ideal for avoiding unwanted attention, while the guard who has been asked to turn a blind eye, is an effective deterrent to any would-be eavesdroppers. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the homunculi, the greatest musical sensation the realm has ever known. While I am not one to boast, I should point out that I played no small part in bringing them and my organization, Black Rabbit Traders, together in mutual beneficial partnership. We cover their expenses while they promote our fine range of fashionable attire as they enchant hordes of besotted onlookers. Although I should warn you, any rumors of them siring a string of children across the Eorzea are entirely unfounded. Well, mostly unfounded. Of course, it won't do to have this conversation interrupted by legions of squealing followers. Enter current venue. As for the role in the Starlight Celebration, I jumped at the chance to have them take center stage. Admirers will flock from realms around for the chance to see the homunculi and their new, specially prepared material. I can picture it now, the delicate tones of my beautiful bards filling the ears of festival goers young and old, with Black Rabbit Traders making gill hand over fist from all the garments we sell. And what's more, the presence of such renowned artists will raise the profile of the celebration, meaning that Garanji and her Starlight celebrants will have even more reason to be cheerful. All that remains is for the homunculi to fulfill their part of the bargain, and put together a few songs for the concert itself. Therein lies the problem. Were this any other performance, we would memorize the crowds with a few favorites from our repertoire, such as Fair Lady, Return My Breeches, or Hey, Nonny Nonny, Maiden Most Bonny. Fearing that such material may not be appropriate, we thought it best to work on some new pieces. But this occasion calls for traditional Ishgardian music, whereas we weave our entrancing melodies in the classic Gridanian style. To better fulfill the needs of the Starlight Celebration, we sought the aid of an Ishgardian composer. Upon taking a receipt of the manuscripts, however, we found that they were written for a mixed choir, 4 singers, 2 male and 2 female. It does not take a music aficionado to appreciate that the homunculi are ill-equipped for such a performance. To make matters worse, there simply isn't time to have the pieces rewritten. We are well and truly out of our element, like proverbial babes in the wood. Whatever will we do? All of this moping is getting us nowhere. Are you professionals or not? What we need are solutions, and fast. First of all, let us select our vocalists. Luckily, the composer has provided instructions on the kind of voices required to carry the melody, though I must admit I can make neither head nor tail of these notes. One of the female voices must be as uplifting as birdsong on a crisp winter's morning, and the other, ethereal as zephyr across the sun-dappled stream. For the males, reminiscent of a mighty oak's outstretched boughs, and deep and cavernous as the bowels of the earth. We have to start our search somewhere, I suppose. Perhaps you can help. Can you think of anyone who possesses a voice as uplifting as a birdsong on a crisp winter's morning? Why hadn't I thought of that? If the cheerful manner in which she speaks is any indication, her singing voice may be exactly what we're looking for. Being a Starlight celebrant, she can hardly refuse. I dare say you found the perfect candidate. With that settled, you should move on to your second female vocalist. Can you think of anyone with a voice as ethereal as a zephyr across a sun-dappled stream? The Elseater herself? Have you taken leave of your senses? Generous and benevolent she may be, but I struggle to imagine her joining her little choir group. There's only one thing for it. I will just have to do it myself. My devotion to the homunculi and the Black Rabbit traders compels me. There's also the fact that I have already invested too much of this venture to allow it to fail now. Masenta, my darling, it would be an honor to join my voice with yours in musical matrimony. Let's not get carried away. For all you know, I could be a dreadful singer. Fear not, my lady, for we shall be on hand to provide all the tutelage you might require, though the question remains, which two lucky fellows will be accompanying you? Reminiscent of a mighty oak's outstretched boughs. I would say that description fits Augustiniel's soaring vocals. I couldn't agree more. Finding someone whose voice is deep and cavernous as the bowels of the earth may prove a little more challenging. The homunculi's music rarely ventures into the lower notes. At the risk of volunteering myself for that role, too, mayhaps we should put the matter to one side for now? Might I be able to ask a favor of you? 2 favors, actually. Keen as always, and I haven't even told you what the favors are yet. I need you to collect a conductor's baton from the beaten of the Carpenters' Guild, as well as an order of choir surplices from Redolent Rose over at the Weavers' Guild in Ulda. After paying a visit to these master artisans, head straight to Garangi in Mikito's amphitheater. She will be expecting you. In the meantime, it seems prudent for us to rehearse away from prying ears. Now make haste! During that first option, I very much wanted to pick a chocobo. I didn't in this one, and I didn't in my main character either. And we'll talk to Beaton. So, are you any closer to becoming one with wood? Nope, because I'm not here for that. That sounded awkward. Ah, yes, I have the conductor's baton right here. Since the guild seldom receives orders for such items, I thought it best to deal with this one personally. The maple gives it a certain degree of flexibility, while the cork grip allows it to be held between thumb and index finger without fear of dropping it. I am confident that Masenta will appreciate the quality of the craftsmanship. While my services do not come cheap, she is sure to feel that her money was well spent. And spend she did. In all honesty, a simple twig would probably suffice. But nothing is too simple for her homunculi. I must admit, I do not see the appeal in those pretty boys. The sigh of a saw on wood and the tap of a hammer on chisel are all the music I need. Well, to each his own. The teeny tiny snowman. And here we go. And then I will teleport back to Gridania. Oh, what's this? A customer? Or perhaps some lackey sent on an errand? Yep, lackey it is. The choir surplices? Not the most challenging requests the guild has received, but a welcome change from all the plebeians asking us to add arse flaps to their culottes. Another pleasant surprise was the amount Masenta was willing to pay for them. So generous was she that I thought it only fair to include a few more. Knowing her, she will find a way to pitch them to festival goers, so any surpluses could be sold on for a profit. This could even mark the beginning of a very lucrative venture for the Black Rabbit traders, and the Weavers' Guild. Our mutual acquaintance is undoubtedly counting the guild as we speak, so I suggest you deliver these garments to her post-haste. Best of luck with the Starlight Celebration. You're back! I was considering sending out a search party for you, too. Is everything all right? Yippers, we're handing over the conductor's baton and the order of choir surplices. Unless I'm very much mistaken, these look remarkably like a conductor's wand and some sort of smocks. This may seem like an odd question, but why are you giving these to me? Did I forget to tell you? Not to worry. All will become clear once you've changed into your surplice and are ready to rehearse. Rehearse? I don't remember agreeing to sing, and I'm fairly certain you never asked me. Sorry, dear. Change your plans. To be honest, knowing how committed you are to the Starlight Celebration, it never occurred to me that you might be opposed to the idea. Well, we cannot disappoint the little ones. I suppose it's only meet that I at least try. Very well. I'll do it. If it makes you feel any better, I will be singing too. Bear in mind that I lack your experience when it comes to entertaining the masses, so if there's anyone who should be nervous, it's me. Besides, there's no time for dilly-dallying. We still have to find a man with a voice deep and cavernous as the bowels of the earth.
Are these the musicians? We'd better start checking the amphitheater. What did you call them? Acoustics? No, that doesn't sound right.
You there! Are you one of the Starlight Celebrants?
Aye, and a member of the Adventurers Guild beside. Every year they give me leave to help out with the festival.
Remarkable! His every word reverberates to the core of my soul. Deep and cavernous as the bowels of the earth. Why, he's Titan incarnate! My thoughts exactly. Who could have guessed that the perfect candidate was under our noses? Figuratively speaking, of course. This whole time. How would you like to join our choir?
I don't see why not. When it comes to being big and loud, no one does it better than me.
Haha, glad to hear it. While I could normally welcome sharing my stage with the rank amateurs, I'm willing to make an exception. Obviously, none of you can even hope to reach my standards, but with sufficient practice, we should be able to approach adequate or even not displeasing. As for a scarlet and artful foe, I have something else in mind. While you may not be serenading us with your angelic vocals, you will instead be blessing the children with the presents I have prepared. I will make sure that they keep their hands off the children's mummies, no matter how yummy they might be. If the homunculi can limit their flirtations to a well-timed wink here and a cheeky smile there, we'll have them eating out of our hands, without any lasting repercussions. I have a question. Who is this conductor stick for? You catch on quick, don't you? I'm not asking you to do this entirely from the goodness of your heart. I will see to it that you are properly remunerated in some form. I would say, compared to the 4 members of the choir, you have the easy job. Judging from them seeing other concerts, you just need to look the part and wave the baton a bit. Simple.
Rather you than me, friend. I wouldn't know where to start. I'm much more comfortable bellowing away to my heart's content. Anyway, let me know when you're ready for some conducting.
Penfield is keen to put his booming voice to good use.
Ready for a bit of singing? Oh, if you're wondering where Miss Santa's gone, she's keeping an eye on her stall. She'll be right back when it's time to get started, though. You'd think she'd have enough on her plate already, what with all that buying and selling. Good of her to find the time and Gil. to help us lot with the festival. Her voice ain't half bad either. It's hard to believe she wants someone like me to be in her choir, but I don't know the first thing about music. Best I can manage is a few sea shanties. That's all when I'm in my cups. Might as well make the most of it, I suppose, and if we're enjoying ourselves, maybe the younglings will too, as long as they stick around long enough to get their presents. You can consider it a success. But how about you? Had a chance to practice your wand waving? If not, well, it's a bit late to start now. I'm sure you'll pick it up as we go along. Looks like we've already got a few people lined up to watch the show. You can see the Starlight celebrants herding them together just over yonder. I'd watch out for that enthusiastic-looking lass over there, though. She's been telling folk about the music-allotted musicians the realm has never known, and they seem to be lapping it up. Appreciate them drumming up a crowd like that, but I think expectations might be a bit too high. What with this being our first performance, might be an idea to start with the other lot. They seem less like to take offense to a flat note or two. Once you're feeling confident, you can take a crack at something trickier. But you're the conductor, so you get the final say as to what we sing and when. Well, there's no time like the present. Let one of the Starlight celebrants know when you're ready to begin. Then here it explains quest difficulty and rewards will vary according to which Starlight celebrant you choose. So as you see, there's the two options here with 2 or 3. Just to demonstrate over there that Saturnine Starlight celebrant, you only get 2 if you succeed. And over there, Splendiferous, sorry, I can't see the name. Splendiferous Starlight celebrant, you'll get 3 if you succeed. We're going to start with the Saturnine one right now. Just because it's easier and it's a good way to get used to what you need to actually do for this part. Finished your preparations? That's good. I've been struggling to keep these younglings amused while they wait. Then I told them that only the most well-behaved child would receive a present, and they soon settled down. Anyway, it's about time we get started. This way, please. Speak with this Starlight celebrant to begin the cantable. You will earn 2 certificates of good cheer for successful completion of this piece. To attempt the Capriccio, speak with the Splendoriferous Starlight celebrant. The rewards for successful completion vary according to difficulty. And then it asks you to confirm. Then it explains the choir will now perform a song. Time your inputs with the on-screen prompts. When a blue prompt appears, left, this one. Time your input as the diamonds overlap. When an orange prompt appears, the one on the right over here, make several rapid inputs until the prompt disappears. The controls are as follows. For the mouse, left click or right click anywhere on the screen, any standard unmodified key using the keyboard, and then please note the chat will be temporarily disabled. To access the pause menu, press the escape key or start, for those on the PS4, button from which you may choose to end the performance. If you fail to follow an on-screen prompt, you will incur a penalty. When a certain number of penalties have occurred, I believe it's only 10, so if you get 10 strikes, you fail and you have to restart this particular instance, or the other one. The performance will not end immediately, but your attempt will be unsuccessful. In the event of failure or quitting during the performance, you may attempt again by speaking to either of the Starlight celebrants. So here we go. then it gives you the results. And for the record, that was the first time I ever did it perfect. Although this was the easier one, so there's that. And you can see criticals to a 29, greats 11, goods 0, and misses 0. And then we proceed to talk to Bainfield. Phew, this singing lark's harder than it looks. Good thing we had you to keep us in time. Of course, we'll be putting on more shows all the way to the end of the Starlight Celebration. I think we'll be able to put on a fairly convincing performance, even without a conductor. But if you've got time to spare, why not to join us for another sing-song? Oh, and one other thing. I think Garanji wanted to say something to you. Probably wants to say thank you, or somewhat. And then you can see, because we did the easy one, this is the only option for our rewards. If we had done the other one and succeeded, we would get 3. And we will talk to Garanji again, because this is the next part of the event. And we get gear. Or, well, kind of vanity, if you will. Garanji is beaming with delight following the resounding success of the concert. That was incredible. Considering that only Augustinio has any real experience, it's hard to believe we were able to keep up with him. Of course, your conducting is what made it all possible. We would have been lost without you. As planned, Ascarliot and Arsfelfall are handing out the presents. It truly is a marvel to see so many children arriving to collect gifts. But I do wish the homunculi would pay more attention to the younglings and a little less to their mothers. Still, they are doing ever such a good job. What? No more presents? I'm dreadfully sorry, little ones. Unfortunately, the Saint Nimia has not blessed us with the quite right number of gifts. We never expected the choral performance to be so popular. Had we known, we would have prayed for a few more parcels. Oh no! Whatever shall we do? There must be something we can give them. The saint knows I've been bad. That's why I can't have a present. Ho ho ho! Fear not, all ye faithful. The saint of Nimia has heard your prayers. Rejoice, for I am here. For I have come, bearing gifts. Hearken one, hearken all, for a bevy of festival treats awaits every good boy and girl, all courtesy of my little helpers. Now, who has been good this year? Me! I've been on my bestest behavior! What a wonderful surprise! Your arrival is timely indeed! Ho ho ho! Think nothing of it! The Saint of Nimia lives only to bring joy to the realm! But did I perchance see a young girl with tears in her eyes? Verily, my work here cannot be considered complete until that sweet child is smiling once more. Yes, I could not agree more. She was beside herself when she heard that there was no present for her. I think she blames herself, for some reason. We must find her without delay. Although I get the impression that the sight of a member of the festival staff would be rather upsetting for her. At least until she has had a chance to calm down. Could you ask if anyone has seen her? Thank you. She can't have gone far, but keep your eyes peeled. Quidania is full of little nooks and crannies. Perfect for hiding. And with that I must depart, for I still have many parcels to deliver, and so little time. May the blessings of Nimia be upon each and every one of you. Ho ho ho! And we will talk to Simpkin over there.
barrel? Why yes, one went running in the direction of New Gridania, though for the life of me I could have sworn that they were tears of joy, presumably brought on by your magnificent display of the amphitheater. Had I known the truth of the matter, mayhap I would have offered a gentle melody of mine own, to ease whatever ails her troubled heart, and sincerely hope you find her, my fellow musician.
And over to the other side, to New Gridania, as it were.
Wood Whaler. Sorry, I can't say I pay attention to balding babes, yet enough of my own at home. Might be worth asking about the adder's nest, though. Always a lot of folk coming and going. Maybe one of them saw something. And over here. Gavin. Why yes, I saw a girl matching your description darting off in the direction of the acorn orchard, but since this area is frequented by a large number of young children, I didn't think anything of it. It appeared to me that she was unaccompanied, though. And that's conveniently right over here. I know you. You're the stick-wavy lady. From the concert, are you cross with me? Oh, good. But that's why I got no present. Because I was naughty. It's just me and Daddy. He's a wood whaler, but he's always so busy. He only comes home at night, when I'm asleep. But today he wasn't busy, so we went to the market. I said I wanted a flower hairpin. But he said next time. When is next time? Maybe there is no next time. He's always too busy. So I said, I hate you! Then I ran away. That's when I saw the concert. I wanted to hear the music, so I went there by myself. But then I didn't get a present. It's because I said I hate you to Daddy and ran off. It's not your fault, child. I'm to blame. I know you too. You're a singer. Ha ha ha! Not quite. Think of me as one of the saint's little helpers. He is not the only one who gives presents. I brought one too, just for you. Now hold still and close your eyes. Ah! The hairpin! Just what I always wanted. But how did you know? Well, a certain someone gave this to me to look after. He told me that you had been standing in front of the Black Rabbit traders, staring at it every day. That someone also asked me to hold on to it as a present for the Starlight Celebration. Which is why when you asked for him to buy it for you, he said, next time. He didn't want you to know he had already bought it. So that means... Yes, that's right. Now why don't you run along and find him? Thank you, Saint's little helper. Thank you, stick-wavy lady. I promise I'll say sorry to Daddy. Whoever thought doing good deeds could be so tiring? You should have seen the way she was smiling about near my stall, day after day, staring at my floral hairpins, and the way she'd been talking with one of the wood whalers with that pleading look in her eyes. I suspected I'd found a customer. Sure enough, he came over one day and asked which of my wares the girl had been looking at. He bought it and requested that I keep it safe until the Starlight Celebration. No doubt it's to hide it from his daughter. Imagine my surprise when he came by, asking not for the hairpin, but his little girl. He'd been desperately searching for her and after she ran off. I couldn't very well leave him to search for her on her own, certainly not on a taste such as this. I am one of the saint's little helpers after all. Yes, you heard me correctly. It's so surprising that I could get into the festive spirit. Besides, if I treat them with kindness now, her father may be inclined to buy her more presents in the future. Why, she might even be a paying customer herself when she has the money of her own to spend. That is the key to good business. Plant the seeds and watch them grow. And to be honest, I underestimated how many presents we would need for the concert. It's a good thing I had the hairpin from her father to hand. Of course, I have you to thank for tracking her down. You are an awful lot easier to find than a wayward child. Come to think of it, Amy Garangi would be relieved to hear that this little incident has come to a satisfying conclusion. Would you be so kind as to put her mind at ease? I, on the other hand, have a rather more pressing engagement. I simply must change out of this unflattering costume, although I suspect I may have to wear it again before the festival comes to a close. Well then, ta-ta for now. Amy Garangi. So, did you find her? My, Macenta! She never ceases to amaze me. I suppose she could add cheering up crying children to her lengthy lists of talents, and you seem to have quite the knack for finding missing persons. I dare say that comes in handy from time to time. Anyway, I hope we will be spared any similar misadventures for the rest of the festival. This is supposed to be a happy occasion, after all. If it gives even one youngling reason to be upset, it will have all been for naught. But now that's over, we can all go back to enjoying the Starlight Celebration. I know you've already done more than enough to help us, but if you fancy leading the choir again, the Starlight Celebration's celebrants and I would be absolutely thrilled. We are still inundated with visitors from far and wide, all clamoring for a chance to experience an authentic yet unique Ishgardian musical spectacle and receive a gift from the saint. And here is one for you. While I suspect what the presents may be somewhat more enticing than our singing, I can say without a shadow of doubt the whole enterprise has been a roaring success. Yay! And there's an achievement for having done the event. So we will do this again. I'm not going to read through the dialogue, I'm just going to click for it. You can find out yourself there. So I'm going to try this one now, but I will read his dialogue. Hark! The conductor beyond compare makes her grand entrance. The crowd can barely contain their excitement. Are your preparations complete, Maestro? Yes, they are. And be prepared, this one is much faster than the other one. As you can see in the top there, I was very close to failing. Had I missed once more, I would have failed. And then you get the score and that, and that's not my worst. My worst was failing twice in a row. Definitely don't feel too upset if you do fail. It does take a bit of getting used to. And since we succeeded, we get 3 that time. And I won't go through that again. This time we get 3. And then just to show you over here, this is what you can get for this event. Starlight Celebration. So we have magic to prisms, magic to prism sunshine, so the stardust, the orchestrion roll, which you would have heard when we're in this area, so it's the current one, so, and then starlight donuts, which are a tabletop item, open twinkle boxes, also a tabletop, and then Evercold Starlight Snowman, which is also a tabletop item, and then you have furnishing of Silver Starlight Sentinel. You also will have seen me in my scholar outfit for my main character, which I hadn't planned, but I found that it was very fitting for this season and it looked extremely close to what a conductor might wear. And that's all for this video. Enjoy the festival!